Hello and welcome everybody to my channel Omni Bioentrance, and today we will be discussing Pondicherry University MSc Entrance Exam question paper for the subject Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, which was conducted in the year 2016. Now coming to the first question. Which of the following methods for introducing DNA into cells is used only for plants? So gene gun is used only for introduction of DNA into plant cells. Then next one. Among the following, which hormone can induce flowering in short day plants grown under long duration of light? Answer is gibberellic acid. Then Rifson's disease arises due to accumulation of larger quantities of. Now the signs and symptoms for Rifson's disease result from the abnormal buildup of a type of fatty acid called phytanic acid. The substance is obtained from the diet, particularly from beef and dairy products. So answer is option A. Then Cori cycle is synthesis and reuse of glucose. The cycle involving the synthesis of glucose in the liver from the skeletal muscle, lactate, and the reuse of glucose thus synthesized by the muscle for energy purpose is known as Cori's cycle. So answer is option A, synthesis and reuse of glucose. Then next one. The blood pressure is high in arteries. Then next one. Which of the following lipoprotein has the highest protein content? So highest protein is for HDL. Then next one. Blood of which of the following animal does not carry oxygen? So the blood of insects does not carry oxygen. Then next one. Which of the following phosphoglyceride possesses antigenic properties? So that is cardiolipin. Then green vegetables are a good source of vitamins and minerals. Then bead-like unit of chromatin structure is beads on a string, that is for nucleosome. So answer is option A. Then pulses are rich in lysine. Which of the following gene involved in apoptosis? So the gene involved is caspase. Then hormonal contraceptives, they inhibit ovulation. Then next one. Which one of the following essential micronutrients is associated with urease enzyme found in higher plants? So answer is nickel. Then next. Glycogen synthetase activity is depressed by cyclic AMP. Then for which of the following the units of rate constant and rate of reaction are the same? It is for zero order reaction. Then next one. Iron is transported by transferrin. Which of the following metabolic processes occurs in mitochondria? So fatty acid beta oxidation occurs in mitochondria. Cholesterol synthesis takes place in cytoplasm and endoplasmic reticulum. Fatty acid synthesis takes place in cytoplasm. Glycolysis also takes place in cytoplasm. So beta oxidation of fatty acid, it takes place in the mitochondria. Glucose absorption may be decreased in edema. Then two sugars differing only in configuration around a single carbon atom, they are called as epimers. Then organotrophic organism feed on. So organotrophic organism is an organism that obtains hydrogen or electrons from organic substrates. So other living things their organic produce. So which one is the largest organelle of the cytoplasm? So largest cell organelle is nucleus in animal cell and vacuole in plant cell. In animal cell, mitochondria is the second largest cell organelle, but chloroplast are the second larger in case of plants because they are larger than mitochondria. Since chloroplasts are not given, the answer is mitochondria. Then next one. Nif genes which encode the nitrogenase complex and other enzymes involved. The Nif genes are genes encoding enzymes involved in fixation of atmospheric nitrogen. So, Nif genes which encode nitrogenase complex and other enzymes involve nitrogen fixation. Then next one. The term translation refers to protein synthesis and a polysome is. It is a complex of mRNA with several ribosomes or polysome. Then next one. Lambda EMBL4. Now lambda EMBL4, it is a lambda replacement vector which can carry up to 20 kb of DNA insert size. So answer is option A. Then in coordinate geometry, the equation on x-axis is, that is y is equal to 0. Milk is deficient in, so milk is deficient in vitamin C. Then which of the following vitamin deficiency leads to burning feet syndrome? So that is pantothenic acid. Now which of the following vitamin structure resemble a monosaccharide in structure? So ascorbic acid or vitamin C, the structure resembles that of glucose. So answer is option A. Next one. Out of the following matches of oncogenes with the proteins that each specify, which one is incorrect? FOS protein encoded by the C-FOS gene is part of the AP1 transcription factor. So answer is FOS, platelet derived growth factor. So out of the following matches of oncogenes with proteins that each specify, the one that is incorrect is FOS, because FOS protein is encoded by C-FOS gene is a part of the AP1 transcription factor. So they have given here as platelet derived growth factor, that is incorrect. Then in which form of DNA the number of base pairs per helical turn is 10.5, that is in the case of bDNA. Which of the following is a mismatch between the plant drug and its source? So from these options it is digitalin, that is Artemisia annua. So digitalin is derived from the leaves of foxglove plant or Digitalis purpurea. So the incorrect match is option C, that is digitalin from Artemisia annua. It is not Artemisia annua, it is Digitalis purpurea. Then next one. Why does hydroxylation increases the stability of the collagen triple helix? It increases hydrogen bonding between polypeptide chain. So hydroxylation increases stability of collagen triple helix. Now why does this hydroxylation increases? Because it increases hydrogen bonding between polypeptide chains. Now next one. HDL is synthesized and secreted from. It is synthesized and secreted from the liver. So answer is option D. Next one. During starvation, ketone bodies are used as fuel by. So during starvation, the ketone bodies are used as fuel by the brain. Next one. As prophase 1 progresses, the homologous chromosomes form a 4-chromatid structure called. So during prophase 1, the pair of homologous chromosomes come together to form a tetrad or bivalent which contain 4 chromatids. So answer is option A, that is bivalent. Human eye lenses, it is biconvex and cannot be moved forward. Why? Because it is held back by suspensory ligaments. So answer is option D. Blood groups are named based on antigens present in. Answer is antigens present on RBCs. Then an enzyme showing absolute specificity is. Now absolute specificity means that one and only one substrate will fit with the particular enzyme. The enzyme glutamate dehydrogenase will catalyze only the removal of the nitrogen group from the glutamate and not any other amino acid. It is said to be absolute specificity. So that's one example of absolute specificity. So they have asked is an enzyme showing absolute specificity out of these four options. So that is urease. The next one. The main site of urea synthesis in mammals is. So it is liver. In humans and mammals, almost 80% of the nitrogen excreted in the form of urea, which is produced through a series of reactions occurring in the cytosol and mitochondrial matrix of liver cells. These reactions are collectively called the urea cycle. So answer is option B, that is liver. Then next one. The infective stage of the malarial parasite Plasmodium species in man is, it is sporozoite. Bilirubin level increases in the blood when liver cells are severely damaged. Answer is option A. Now which of the following is not a prime number? So answer is 21, that is not a prime number. Then molecular formula of cholesterol is, it is C27H45OH. Then denaturation of protein results in. Denaturation reactions are not strong enough to break the peptide bond. So breakdown of peptide bond is not correct, but disruption or destruction of hydrogen bonds is correct. So answer is option D. The next one. During photosynthetic carbon reduction cycle in green leaves, net production of one molecule of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate requires one of the following combinations of energy equivalents, that is 6 NADPH and 9 ATP. Then next one. Virus mediated transfer of genetic material between one bacterial cell and another is termed as, it is termed as transduction. Now each cycle of beta oxidation produces one FADH2, one NADH and one acetyl CoA. So answer is option B. Which of the following technique is used to separate proteins based upon differences in their masses? That is SDS gel electrophoresis. Which of the following pairs of subcellular compartments is likely to have some same pH and electrolyte composition? So it is for cytosol and mitochondrial intermembrane space. Then next one. Proteins tagged with mannose 6-phosphate are transported to. So they are transported to the lysosome. Then PU vectors incorporate. So PU vectors have multiple cloning site in the LAC Z sequence. So answer is option. Then which of the following is an essential fatty acid? It is linoleic acid. Answer is option D. Anaerobic energy yielding pathways are called as, they are called as fermentation. The next one. Metabolic diseases caused by a defect in one amino acid is known as, that is cystic fibrosis. The most common mutation called is a deletion of one amino acid at position 508 in the CFTR protein. And the amino acid is phenylalanine. So the answer is cystic fibrosis. Then during each cycle of beta oxidation, so 2 carbon atoms are removed from the carboxyl end of the fatty acid. So answer is option A. A gene is a section of DNA that codes for protein, and these unique sequences of bases are called as exons. Answer is option D. So it is a section of DNA that codes for protein, and these unique sequences of bases are called exons. It is a section in DNA. Then, in hemolytic jaundice, bilirubin in urine is increased very much. Answer is option A. Now, it is believed that life evolved with RNA as genetic material, but RNA has been replaced by DNA in all current cellular life. Which feature of DNA accounts for this? Now, DNA is more stable than RNA. Is what it is. Now, the greater length of DNA can be maintained without breakage. Then presence of thymine rather than uracil enhance stability of DNA, making the many unavoidable accidents that occur to the molecule much easier to repair. That is why RNA has been replaced by DNA in all current cellular life. Now that is because DNA is more stable than RNA. Then, which is an important function of cholesterol in cell membrane? Now, cholesterol, it stabilizes the structure of mammalian membranes. Then, reaction catalyzed by phosphofructokinase. Now, phosphofructokinase catalyzes the ATP-dependent phosphorylation to convert fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-biphosphate and ADP. Now, phosphofructokinase is inhibited by ATP and citrate and positively regulated by AMP. So, the reaction catalyzed by phosphofructokinase is the rate limiting reaction of glycolytic pathway. Then fructose or phosphofructokinase is activated by fructose 2,6-biphosphate. Then next one. Eccorin is a calcium binding protein isolated from Coelenterata Echoria victoria. Eccorin associated itself with which of the following structural features? It has got an EF hand. Then next one. Which mineral element controls the activity of nitrate reductase? So answer is iron. During interphase, dash can be seen with a light microscope. So heterochromatin can be seen with light microscope during interphase. Then, which of the following mineral nutrients is directly involved in light absorption during photosynthesis? So chlorophyll A and B are the major pigments for absorption of light energy, and synthesis of both these pigments require Mg or Mg2+. Then next one. The bead-like structures found in the ultrastructure of eukaryotic chromatin is referred to as nucleosomes. Then next one. The caloric value of lipid is 9 kilocalories per gram. Then next one. Which of the following statements about retinal, the chromophore of rhodopsin, is incorrect? Now it becomes the all-cis isomer after absorbing light. So that is the incorrect statement. Correct answer is it becomes all trans retinal, not cis. So answer is option C. Then phenylalanine ammonia lyase and chalcone synthase are involved in biosynthesis of phenolic compounds in plants. Following are the statements regarding the action of phenylalanine ammonia lyase and CHS. So substrates for which one of the following combination of the above statement is true? So the answer is B, that is second and fourth are true. That is PAL converts phenylalanine to trans-cinnamic acid and para-COA is converted to chalcones by CHS. So answer is 2 and 4. Then next one. The most variable stage of cell cycle is, so that is G1. G1, S and G2 phases make up the period known as interphase. Cells typically spend far more time in the interphase than they do in mitosis. Of the 4 phases, G1 is most variable in terms of duration, although it is often the longest portion of the cell cycle. Now, which of the following statements describe the process of phloem loading? So, phloem loading is the process of loading carbon into the phloem for transport to different sinks in plant. The movement of photosynthase, that is products of photosynthesis, from mesophyll cell to phloem sieve elements of mature leaves is known as phloem loading. So option D, if you see, sugars are transported from producing cells in the mesophyll to cells in the vicinity of sieve elements. So it is incorrect because it is given vicinity of sieve elements. Actually it is, whereas it has to be to sieve elements. So, and in case of option B, if you see, sugars are transported into sieve elements and companion cells. So that is more correct. So answer is option B. Then next one. Fluoride inhibits dash and arrest glycolysis. So fluoride inhibits enolase and arrest glycolysis. Enolase is used to convert 2-phosphoglycerate to phosphoenol pyruvate. So the accumulated 2-phosphoglycerate due to inhibition of enolase gets converted to 3-phosphoglycerate by enzyme phosphoglucomutase. As a result, glucose is not broken down to pyruvic acid and blood glucose level increases. And next one. The carbon dioxide acceptor in C4 plant is, it is phosphoenol pyruvate. Answer is option D. Then next one. The zDNA helix is favored by alternate GC base pair. So answer is option D. Next one. For glycogenesis, glucose should be converted to, it should be converted to UDP glucose. Next one, a transition mutation. A transition mutation results from substitution of one purine for another or of one pyrimidine for another, and transversion is one purine for pyrimidine. Just remember version change, that is transversion, that is purine is changed to pyrimidine. In case of transversion, the other, that is transition, that is purine is one purine is changed to an other purine, or one pyrimidine is changed to an another pyrimidine, that is transition mutation. Now next one. Cyclins and cyclin dependent kinases are proteins involved in regulation of, they are involved in regulation of cell cycle. Bronze diabetes is associated with following mineral deposition. Now bronze diabetes gets its name from the brown hue of the, or the color of the skin that result in the accumulation of iron in the body. This form of diabetes is associated with an underlying liver disease known as hemochromatosis. Hemochromatosis occurs when there are high pathologic level of iron accumulation in the body. So bronze diabetes is associated with iron accumulation. Then next one, a nucleoside consists of, it consists of a heterocyclic nitrogenous base and sugar. So purine or pyrimidine base plus sugar. Now if a phosphate group or phosphorus is there, then it is a nucleotide. Next one, a cup of strong coffee would be expected to. It enhances the effect of epinephrine. Answer is option B. Next one, mumps is a disease caused by virus that affects the parotid glands. Answer is option A. Then the smallest RNA among the following, that is tRNA. Transfer RNA is the smallest. Then dideoxynucleotide for triphosphates or DDNTPs are used in sequencing DNA because now DDNTPs, what they do is they prevent further DNA synthesis once they are incorporated into the DNA sequence. So answer is option D, that is DDNTPs, they prevent further DNA synthesis once they are incorporated into the DNA sequence. The next one, a cell undergoing meiosis produces 4 daughter cells, 2 of which are aneuploids while other 2 are haploids. This can occur due to non-disjunction during first meiotic division only. Now the process of separation of homologous chromosomes during anaphase 1 is referred to as disjunction. This process is responsible for reducing the chromosome number to half. Failure of occurrence of this process, that is non-disjunction, it results in the failure of homologous chromosomes to separate, so that one gamete comes to have an extra chromosome, that is n plus 1, while the other become deficient in one chromosome, that is n minus 1. This results in the production of aneuploids. So answer is option B. So coming to the next question. Which of the following is a natural uncoupler? So answer is thyroxine is a natural uncoupler. Long chain fatty acids are natural uncouplers of oxidative phosphorylation in mitochondria and not short chain fatty acids. So the answer here is thyroxine. The next one. Which of the following microscopy technique relies on the specimen interfering with the wavelength of light to produce a high contrast image without the need for dyes? So phase contrast microscopy is the answer. Phase contrast microscopy relies on the phenomenon of interference to produce high contrast images of the unstained living specimen. Unstained living specimen. So answer is phase contrast microscopy. Now glycogen synthetase activity is depressed by cyclic AMP. Next one, light signals for flowering are received by the leaves. Initiation of protein synthesis begins with the binding of 40S ribosomal unit on mRNA. So answer is option C. The next one, which of the following is a typical feature of viruses? The ability to replicate independently, the ability to synthesize ATP, 3000 to 4000 genes, a genome that may be single or double stranded DNA or RNA. So that is the typical feature of viruses, whereas others are not features of viruses. Next one, Hollandric inheritance is shown by Y chromosome. Then next one, the Km of an enzyme is the substrate concentration that gives half maximum velocity. Answer is option A. Barbara McClintock received Nobel Prize in 1983 for discovering mobile genetic elements or jumping genes. Now this was also a repeated question. Then next one, the alpha helix can be called 3.613 helix. The number refers to the number of residues in a turn of the helix and the number of atoms in the hydrogen bond ring. So that is what these numbers refers to. That is 3.6 refers to the number of residues in the turn of the helix, and 13 refers to number of atoms in the hydrogen bond ring. Now excessive intake of ethanol increases the ratio of NADH is to NAD+. Now next one, which of the following is not an adaptive modification in xerophytic plant? Presence of lacunar tissues is not an adaptive modification in xerophytic plants. So thank you for watching my channel. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.